Hello everybody, welcome to Shane and Stuff. As you may or may not know, Aladdin's Dragons is a game designed by Richard Breese, who is the creator of the very delightful Key series of games, which includes the better known Keyflower, Keeper, Keyflow, and others. Today I wanted to do a special unboxing video for Aladdin's Dragons because the next game in the Key series that is going to come out is Keydom's Dragons, which is coming to Kickstarter June 2nd. You can already see a playthrough of Keydom's Dragons over on Paul Grogan's Gaming Rules channel, which I'll link to in the description. Keydom's Dragons will mostly be a reskin of Aladdin's Dragons in order to bring it into the Keyniverse. There will be some notable changes, such as instead of 3 to 5 players, it will now be 1 to 6 players, with the inclusion of automated opponents called ghosts. The game will include 2 of them, so if you are playing solo, you will use both of them to get the minimum 3 players. If you're playing 2-player, you will use 1. But also, you can actually use ghosts with any other player count less than 6. So if you want a 4-player game to be as crowded as a 6-player game, you will just add the 2 ghosts. I will be doing an upcoming solo playthrough of Keydom's Dragons, and I am printing and building the copy myself, so in order to have the distinct treasure pieces that go with the game, I needed a copy of Aladdin's Dragons. I was lucky enough to find a pristine, unplayed copy that still had shrink on it, and when I started to open it, I realized that for a 22-year-old game, this is a really nice production, so why not do an unboxing? I have also already read the rules, and I can tell you this game design holds up extremely well for being 22 plus years old. Before it was Aladdin's Dragons, it was actually the second Key game, Keydom, which, after Essen 1999, Hans and Gluck picked up to make Aladdin's Dragons. So Keydom's Dragons is a game at least 23 years in the making. With all of that said, let's take a look at Aladdin's Dragons. Alright, so I already took the shrink off, and that was when I was like, wow, okay, I really want to do an unboxing of this. This is, I mean, for 22 years old, this looks like something that would hold up today. Wow, a rules summary sheet. I don't know if this was common in the older games, but man, this is something that so many games these days could use. Sometimes they have sort of a quick summary in the back or, whatever, but like, full summary sheets, iconography sheets, how to pack up the game when you're done. Those would be amazing things to be included in more games today. Here's the board. Oh my goodness. Wow, this is a very, very nice board. I'm going to put that out last after going through the rest of the contents. Here is the normal rule book. Very nice. Got a nice feel to it. Very nice quality paper here. Here's a bunch of tokens. So here are the worker tokens. So in Aladdin's Dragons and Keydom's Dragons, you basically do blind bidding. So you take your workers, you put all 8 of them out on the board, and there are various locations on the board, and you try to be the one with the highest value in order to be able to perform the action at that particular location. So you do things like acquire the gems from the dragons, and you use those gems to buy artifacts and do other things, and it's the artifacts that win you the game. The person with the most artifacts at the end of the game wins. I'm showing you the boring side of these things. Here we go. So here are the player screens. Since you're doing blind bidding, you keep your tokens behind the player screen. It's got references for the powers of the artifacts. So even once you obtain an artifact, that are the things that help you, that you win the game by having the most artifacts, the artifacts actually have powers that you use during the game to help you win the auctions, or whatever you want to call it. Win the bidding, win the locations. So I think do they have colors? Yes, they actually are in player colors. Gray, yellow, the first one was red. There's some more tokens. Oops. These are nicely cut, it seems. They just want to fall right out. That's always good. So these are their tokens. So lamp, key, etc. So we have green and blue. So here are the treasures. So the 22 years later, the new game Keydom's Dragons will have the same treasure tokens. Let's see, red, yellow. So here they are. I forget exactly what they each are. I think these are the gold bars, but you have larger version and smaller version of each thing. So the smalls are ones, the larges are 3. So those are the treasures. Here's the cards. Put these up. Okay, here are the cards. Very nice. I like that design. It's pretty cool. Different colors. We have gray, green, blue. Huh. Oh, okay. So these are the cards that, oh, I see. Yeah. So the gray is a 5-player game. So if you have a 5-player game, you use these cards. And each round, you flip over one of these cards, and it tells you which treasures to put in the dragon's troves or caves or whatever they are. And so the greens are for a 4-player game. Blue is for a 3-player game. So we have spells. There are various spells in the game that you can also obtain, which do some pretty interesting things. Remove any one opponent's token. That opponent then removes one of your tokens. That's crazy. Taxes. Each opponent paints 2 treasures, or they must remove their token. So these are all to manipulate the bids at the location and to hopefully come out on top and be able to do the benefit. So that's that. Now for the board. Okay, wow, this board is pretty big and I had to adjust the camera to get it all in, but as you can see, this is a gorgeous illustration set in the Arabian Nights setting. And so you have the dragons underground here where their treasures will be put, and you'll go and you'll send your workers to try to get treasures, and then you'll come into these different locations in the town. Here you can get spells, so you see the spell cards. That one I think allows you to use more than one artifact during a round. This one allowed you to trade treasures. When you get to the palace, you have to first be able to get past the guard. Now, there are some artifacts that allow you to get into the palace without having to get past the guard. And then in the palace, in different rooms in the palace, is where a new artifact is going to be available every round. And I believe if each artifact is taken every round, you have a 5-round game, but there are times when not every artifact will be taken, if somebody cancels someone else out, or I forget if there's a tie or whatever, but there's ways that not every artifact will be taken, so you can have more rounds. However, that is pretty much the game in a nutshell, and here's a little close-up of the board. And I look forward to showing you Keydom's Dragons when I get that set up to play as soon as I can. So there you have it. Keep on the lookout for my solo playthrough video of Keydom's Dragons, which will be on the Kickstarter page as soon as I get it published. So be sure to look for Keydom's Dragons on Kickstarter June 2nd. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Until then, game on. End of line.